Welcome back, guys, to the CJO Fitness channel. Glad to have you here today. We are going over the proper squat. So there's a lot that goes into a squat. Squat is a very functional movement. You guys sit down to eat dinner, you sit down into your car, you sit down to go to the bathroom. So that is retracing that squat pattern. So at any time, you will need to control that movement down. You will need to understand the proper way to squat and to put those stresses in the gym on your body so that you can get stronger to do those functional movements. So today for the squat, guys, a couple simple tips and tricks that I personally believe in we're about to hit right now. So what I want you guys to do, if you are just learning the squat or you want to relearn the squat, a great tool to use is a small bench or a chair. And that's going to help you retrace that squat and relearn it. So you guys are going to open up to a shoulder width stance. Shoulder width stance is going to be right underneath your armpits as you guys are looking down. Just make sure your toes are right in line on that positioning. All right, there's different types of squats and we'll go over that just in a little bit. But let's start with that toes right in line, right underneath that shoulder width. From here, guys, all you're going to do is just push those hips straight back, just like you're sitting into your chair or your couch or your car or the other thing. But you guys are gonna sit straight back, allow that chest to stay up, actually take a seat into the bench and drive straight back up. As you go through these reps, guys, I want you to focus on those knees staying right in line with those toes and they're not caving in. That chest is also not dropping down or those shoulders are hunching forward. So you guys can keep that chest up, pinch those shoulder blades back, drive those knees slightly out as you turn down into that squat. Keep that lower back engaged, chest stays up, and then you're gonna drive straight back up through those heels to perform that perfect squat. Now, a couple different tips and tricks, guys. If you start to notice that your toes are rotating out on that squat, you might have some tight hips. So all you need to do is with that shoulder width stance, just open up your stance just a little bit, and now you're just going to flare your toes out a little bit because remember, we want to keep our knees out right in line with those toes. Okay, another tip, guys, is if you ever go past shoulder width stance for a sumo squat or a wider stance squat, if your toes are straight in line and I'm turning down into the squat, my knees are already going inside. So that's where that slight flare with those toes are going to happen. It's going to allow you to sit down deep into that squat, especially if you have tight hips and if you sit at a desk or work from home in a desk chair all day. So again, sitting down into that squat, now we're just a little bit more open, toes are out, same movement, pinch those shoulders down and back. You guys are gonna keep that chest up, sit down into that bench. You guys can slightly rock back. I'm never allowing that lower back to disengage. Keep it completely locked out here, and you're gonna drive right back up through those heels. So if that squat's a little bit easier, I want you to work with that wider stance. But remember, toes out, knees out, feel that weight sit back onto those heels. You guys are gonna keep that chest up nice and tall and drive right back up through those heels. You guys can recheck yourself by looking down into the ground as you guys go into that squat. You can have a mirror that double checks you, standing all the way up through. So practice a couple reps, guys. Remember that in your class setting. Remember that when you get after a couple CJO fitness workouts and work on that tip today.